Yeah, we got time, unfortunately.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah, let's do that.
So, okay.
Keep it sprightly.
True. We don't want to make ourselves lost.
I hate misbehaving on stage. So we're talking, we think 141 is enough for this? Probably.
My only kind of indication is not that.
Actually, even count our loud, don't mind. It's 8:57.
This crowd?
We've grown accustomed to this kind of
Being ignored.
good point.
3 points in front of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. What about processional music, the March and the Magic Flute? Mellow.
That one stays on
The bottom one is correct.
Why not?
That's a new one today, but might be not
This is
fair.
Mozart.
Remember, do we do the repeats or no?
No repeats.
Once is enough.
It should be there. It looks like that. Yeah. So no repeats? Did you have half notes in the first measure? he's doing. Are we into three pieces? Three pieces, 2 airs. How about 2 airs for cornets and saxophons? But hold it, 3 pieces, 2 pieces, 5 pieces, 2 pieces.
One piece.
1-4-1.
And Gina, on the procession, do I play the melody the first time and then the third time? Right. Okay, everything on.
So if we 1-4-1, so you and then
Then we go on to Brahms. Yeah. But you're first, you're second.
Okay.
Your choice for sure. Airs? And then yours.
yours is easier.
Airs. Repeats are good.
We can always find your religion.
Oh, it's just get bass drum. So there's no wrong place to stop. It's really weird.
Is it a boom boom every
Yeah,
time?
boom, 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 off. And if you play after that, everyone.
Everyone laughs at you.
The brass doesn't like the brass. I'm sure they don't like us, but yeah, to their speeches.
We all dropped out. Yeah, euphonium.
Yeah.
It is,
Earthy round. Pops it. Oh, okay. From SNS side of things. Oh, of course they do.
yes. Which of these?
They have Prime Window.
No. Actually, I don't see it. Oh, wait, which one's that? What about 5 pieces? Just one at a time, 1, 3, and 5 of those.
Just get it up there.
That's
Fine. Where do you want to be less stuck? Promises.
We could do that. Tom Smaller?
I don't. What happened?
I warned you about that one.
Did you? It's on the button. Yeah. Oh. I think we'll be fine. Sure.
Yeah, Tom's Marley Suite. Yeah, they're very short. It'd be just one. Yeah. No repeats. Just 1 and 3 though. Anyway. Do 1 and then stop. We o- and the 4th one, or the 3rd one, sorry, over at number 3. This is more stable with a strong balance. What do you do? What about 2 pieces, the honeysuckle one, right? Okay, let's knock them. How about Petzer? 3 pieces. First one of those. Oh, good.
What does that mean?
1 4 1 bronze.
She says to keep going as a chord, right?
Yeah, for 4 we
Keep
go.
going as in chord.
Yeah. So if Kurt does one of these, we just go back to the either 1 or 2 or 1 or 4, whichever. So we do 1 more extra.
Makes sense. Poor Dave. Sorry, Dave.
It's all right. I'll figure it out.
It means don't go to bronze.
It
It
needs
means
to
don't go to
at least
bronze. Yeah.
of
But after 1 4 1, we're going to bronze unless we hear
otherwise-
from Curtis. And if we do an extra one, we go to bronze unless we hear from Curtis. This is getting more and more complex over here.
Gina,
Yes.
B,
Yes.
like after 16 measures, I've got, it says
Right.
second time. Da, 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 da. But then that part, I believe,
Yeah, that's kind of the snip right there. Which
Okay.
is Curtis.
I'll put that one. Each time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Good morning, and welcome to Dalhousie University's Fall Convocation. My name is Leslie Fillmore, and I am the Associate Vice President Academic, and I will be guiding us through today's ceremonies. Please be seated. I would first like to ask Elder Tom Christmas to deliver a Mi'kmaq welcome.
Kwe, me download tio. Kisi ko abo multi Georgie jo. Televidi do tema video ni biasa jemang. Kadiye kis ko kilo a telimologia chelida. A hol kadi mood no. Mulani kis ko ni kahagna well. Masa kahagna masuti kado me edekol me dan delgunun masuti da. Ani ge wish kabuti ni na ada vida suti. Akal utla da adida. Abibani muksia ba outside muksawan. Actually da tibuk jogi mudio. My name is Thomas Christmas. Old man Martin Dennis used to call me Thomas Bedoy Nubiasa the monk. Thomas is my actual name, is Duma. And Bedoy was, my father's nickname was D, so he called me D as well. And Nubiasa the monk is Christmas. And I have been asked to welcome each and every one of you. For the Lord's sakes, come on, put a smile on, will you? This is a beautiful, happy day. You've struggled, you've fought, you've argued, you almost want to quit, but you are here. You're going to have a great time, not just here, but this evening. And please, stay true and straight tonight. And be safe out there. And I have been asked to say an opening prayer. Can I ask you to stand, please? Can everybody hear me? Clear, or am I mumbling? You liars. Kisu kolali jiteji kulu naguk ikinumuyak. Tanteji kulu kolani gagna masul titki. A hajik jokum said one mujilane, a holane, debit hajik chibuktuk. Creator, I ask for your guidance for these students, for them to continue, the parents, the grandparents, uncles and aunts that have helped you to get to this point. And I have asked the Creator to watch over you, not just today, but tomorrow and the day after. And I'm asking the Creator to keep you smiling, keep you happy for the rest of your lives. Well, audio, thank you very much. You can now be seated. Thank you.
Wailalan, Elder Christmas, for your welcome and your words.
Welcome.
Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Lenape. We are all treaty people. There are three key components to this statement. The first is the acknowledgement that the land Dalhousie sits on is part of Mi'kmaq, the territory of the Lenape. The second is the acknowledgement of the territory as both ancestral and unceded, recognizing that the peace and friendship treaties signed between the British Crown and the Mi'kmaq did not involve surrender of the land. And finally, we are all treaty people reflects that the peace and friendship treaties apply to all parties involved, Indigenous and settler alike. At Dalhousie, we continue to work and build on these critically important relationships and friendships and remain committed to the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee report. We recognize also that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years, since 1604. African Nova Scotians came to the province as enslaved or free people. Having resided in the region for over 400 years, African Nova Scotian contributions to Nova Scotia and Canada began over 150 years before Canada became a country. We are thankful here at Dalhousie to the Indigenous and African Nova Scotian faculty, members, staff, students, administrators, and elders who partner with us in developing and enhancing pathways programs, mission guidelines, curriculum, welcoming spaces, and community partnerships. We know we have much more to do to transform our colonial past into a future of inclusive excellence. So as Elder Tom said, today is a day you should be smiling. It is a day of celebrations, the celebration of completion, and for you students, the celebration of beginnings. As we proceed with the presentation of diplomas and degrees, we want the ceremony to reflect that celebration and not be too formal. So feel free to show your enthusiasm and cheer for our newest members of the Dalhousie alumni family. This is your day, so go ahead and post your photos and your selfies for friends and family. Send us your best at X, formerly known as Twitter, #DalGrad, and as always, Convocation is being webcast so you can enjoy it again and again through the Dal website. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce these individuals who will participate in the ceremony. So when I call your name, please rise or wave to our audience. So Elder Tom Christmas, who gave the traditional Mi'kmaq welcome a few moments ago. I'm just going to tell you it's a long list, so maybe let's get them all out and then you can cheer for them all. Dr. Rustum Southwell, Chancellor. Dr. Kim Brooks, President and Vice Chancellor. Dr. Louise Spiteri, Chair of Senate. Dr. Heather Bruce, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture. Dr. Graham Gagnon, Dean, Faculty of Architecture and Planning. Dr. Jennifer Andrews, Dean, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. This is looking like a meeting, actually. Sarah Harding, Dean, Schulich School of Law. Dr. Mike Smith, Dean, Faculty of Management. Dr. Valerie Chaff, Associate Dean of Students and Postdoctoral Fellows with the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Dr. Estelle Joubert, Assistant Dean, PhD Strategy with the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Cheryl Fraser, Chair of the Board of Governors. Shireen Sheikh, Program Coordinator for the BIPOC Grad Student Mentoring Academy with the Faculty of Graduate Studies and University Beadle for the ceremony. And Dr. Amani Whitfield, Professor with the Department of History, Centennial Carnegie Chair in the History of Slavery in Canada, and our Convocation speaker. Also on stage today and in our audience are others who have contributed to and been committed to your success. These include faculty and staff who have been so instrumental in your success at Dalhousie. I'd ask those faculty and staff members who are with us today, whether on stage or in the audience, to rise and so we can acknowledge you. Thank you very much. Before proceeding, this is the airline part of the ceremony, please take a moment to familiarize yourselves with the exits, which can be used in the unlikely event of an emergency. As the ceremony progresses, please be aware that members of the onstage party may need to stand, sit, or leave the stage according to their individual needs. Graduates and guests, you are encouraged to do the same if you need to. There is a quiet space located up one floor in room 401 for those who wish to step out and make use of it during the ceremony. We appreciate your support in creating an inclusive environment for all. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President and Vice Chancellor of Dalhousie University, Dr. Kim Brooks, who will give the opening remarks.
Good morning. It's early, you know what I mean? Just wait till they have jobs. It's going to be terrible. Let me try it again. Good morning. Wandering around a store in Ucluelet, BC in July, I discovered the band The Panhandlers. 4 members comprise the band. Each of them are songwriters in their own right. They came together to capture the spirit of West Texas, recorded analog, and aimed to write a love letter to the characters, challenges, and triumphs of life. The song that caught my attention was West Texas in My Eye, which was originally written and recorded by Charlie Stout. Charlie Stout is a photographer and filmmaker who also writes and sings songs to complete and animate his storytelling. If you want to see some beautiful photographs, check them out. Both the Stout and Panhandler versions of the song West Texas in My Eye are streamlined. The Panhandler version that caught my attention includes guitar, percussion, and keyboard. In a nice touch, the grainy video the band produced of themselves performing the song highlights Stout's photography. Let me share the first verse and the chorus with you. Lately, I've been thinking I could leave this town, cut back on my drinking, and stop running around. Playing songs till after midnight, staying up until dawn. There's something in the dust and wind that keeps me hanging on, and I never thought I'd live to see the day I'd say goodbye. I ain't crying, that's West Texas in my eye. I accept that you might be thinking, what does this have to do with recognizing the remarkable achievements of the graduates with us today? Hang in there. Let's talk for a minute about Howard Clark, a former president of Dalhousie. He passed away on August 14th of this year. He had something of a peripatetic life, having been born in Auckland, New Zealand, and then found his way to Cambridge, UBC, London, Ontario, Guelph, and eventually to Dalhousie, where he served as our 9th president from 1986 to 1995. Howard cared about the globalization of the academy and of opening doors at Dalhousie more widely and more inclusively. He was burdened with challenging financial times and spent considerable efforts on projects related to sector rationalization. In his remarks to students in the Dalhousie community, Howard spoke of how universities like Dalhousie must adapt to the world's challenges while staying rooted in the mission of serving society. You, as graduates of architecture, planning, law, arts, agriculture, and management, exemplify this balance. You're stepping into roles that will shape the future, creating spaces, advancing justice, and building sustainable communities. And like the university itself, you're doing that with a spirit of innovation, grounded in values that will guide your actions. So let's return to the Panhandlers. Individually, they were strong musicians, but together they produced music that helped us see the world around us in new ways. Their collaboration matters. It's also music that makes the load lighter after a hard week. Graduates, as you leave Dalhousie, I'd like to offer you a few wishes in the spirit of the Panhandlers and Howard Clark, and I appreciate that the dyad is odd. I hope you have found your band while you are here, and that you will continue to find people on your travels who help you, perhaps unexpectedly sometimes, make beautiful music that supports you in some of life's tougher moments. I hope that you don't feel the need to always fully produce things. Sometimes a guitar and a tape recorder is enough to do something extraordinary. And I hope that you open doors for others and that you carry a commitment to embracing the fullness of the world. As you prepare for whatever comes next, I feel an immense sense of hope. A hope born of the privilege of having spent some time with your creativity, passion, energy, and vision. Congratulations, class of 2024. It's possible you never thought you'd live to see the day you'd say goodbye. You're not crying, that's Dalhousie in your eye.
Thank you, President Brooks. We We will commence the conferring of degrees. So I'd ask graduates, if you are able, to please stand or to wave to the audience. Please stand. They do need some extra boosting this morning, so well done. Chancellor Southwell, as Chair of the Senate of Dalhousie University, I ask you to confer degrees upon those candidates whose names have been approved by Senate.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in Dalhousie University, I admit to their respective degrees and diplomas with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto, those candidates who have fulfilled the requirements of that degree and whose names have been approved by Senate. Admito vos ad gradum.
Congratulations. Graduates, please be seated.
So, graduates, and to be fair, parents, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Today, as you cross the stage, you will transition from students to alumni. For some of you, this may be your second or even third time receiving this honor. In recognition of this, you will greet Chancellor Southwell with a handshake or with your right hand over your heart, and your dean will present you with an alumni pin over here. This pin serves as a reminder not only of your time at Dalhousie, but of your impact that you've had as students and the potential you have to shape the future. We hope you will wear it with pride. I will now call upon the deans as each faculty comes up. So Dr. Heather Bruce, Dr. Graham Gagnon, Dr. Jennifer Andrews, Dr. Mike Schmidt, Sarah Harding, Dr. Valerie Chapp, Dr. Estelle Joubert, and Ella McDonald, an orator and alum from the Fountain School of Performing Arts, to present the candidates who are here today receiving degrees.
Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Faculty of Agriculture who have fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor of Science in Bioveterinary Science. Renee McCormick. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Bioveterinary Science. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidate on behalf of the Faculty of Architecture and Planning, who has fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor of Environmental Design Studies. Faraya Alanyala. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Environmental Design Studies. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences who have fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts. Abby Attree Cannon, with distinction. Richard Monet Awanan. Dayam Basharat. Isabella Karen. August Joseph Charles Clark. Asher Cookson. Nathan Ferguson. Monica Christine Harmada. Kira Hattie. Elizabeth Jean Heaton, with honors, first class honors. Caitlin Grace Heger. Amber Christine Johnston. Taisha Angel Lee Jordan. Emily Kelly. Olivia Ray Knox. Zijun Liu. Ariel Marie Claire Mackenzie, with honors, first class honors. Kazin McKinnon. Megan Jane McLeod. Roxanne Lauren Mercer. Jillian Elizabeth Owensby, with distinction. Claire Elizabeth Mills. Alexandra Lee Randolph, joined on stage today by Cassius. Nina Eloisa Reebok. Peter Savoy. Daisy Rain Sparks, with honors, first class honors. Anya Stephen Conlin. Julia Lindsay Stewart. Tristan Bradley Thomas. Hannah Catherine Walker. Madeline Mary Whalen. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Arts. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Faculty of Management who have fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor of Commerce. Anik Ahmed. Maddie Bass, with distinction. Ethan Cecil Howard Booker. Alexander Michael Bordage. Kan Hong Dung, with distinction. Davis Dame. Connor John Goodick. Edward J. Hamilton. Nuhan Imad, with distinction. Mehjabin Harun. Ryan Punghyun Lee. Fiona Gwendolyn McDermott, with distinction. Elias McMillan. Georgia Ann Merritt, with distinction. Brittany Alexandra McLaren. Avril Pandey. Anne Hoang Fan, with distinction. Boya Tien. Yang Shin. Wei Shi. Su Chen. Harrison Leonard Tobin. Slaren David Voss. Jasim Fayad Gatimu Zubi. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Commerce. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Management. Solène Boulay. Catherine Ann Crombeen. Victoria Paige Davis. Santiago Andreas Farinas. Mitchell Greer. Yueli Hu. Handong Huang. Curtis Alexander Kennedy. Emma Kaylee King, with distinction. Pei Mao. Dan Wynn. Sadie Pinkson, with distinction. Indiana Miller Rissanen. Aaron Rubin, with distinction. Callum Scott. Yiru Wang. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Bachelor of Management. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Schulich School of Law who have fulfilled the requirements for a Juris Doctor. Michael John Stevenson, Juris Doctor. This concludes the presentation of candidates for a Juris Doctor. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Architecture. Abrar Bazara, Joanna Charlotte Rose Burton, Gary William Bishop, Janelle Elizabeth Brooks, TJ Marie Cook Young, Samuel Chenier, Curtis Joseph G. Jack William Kinney, Carrie Coe, Talia Eve Irene Loretti, Jamie Crystal McCullough, Callum Avery Molitor Dyer, Caitlin Elizabeth Murphy, Brandon Daryl Schick, Samuel Alastair Smedley, Ryland Kringen Taylor, This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Architecture. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts. Pinash Akhtar, Francis Barrett. Hannah Kraus. Michaela Agaric. Joseph William Leahy. Judith Francis Mayrick. Philemon Opoku Tonta. Tejas Pandya. Alexander Kenneth McDougall Penner. Paul Thomas Pike. Alex Jacob Gordon Robin. Alyssa Jane Weeks. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Arts. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Business Administration. Adam Reda Belechami. Charlene Gabrielle Chubbs. Frank Edward Kleik, joined on stage by Cruz and Zoe. Jessica Corinne Doroshenko. Jessica Catherine Fader. Noelle Ganduri. Veronica Jessica Gonzalez. Mikyoung Im. Natalie Dawn Murray. Udenwa Uzoamaka Namdi. Eugene Shafransky. Tamer Shinuda. Amanda Pauline Stith. Michelle Young. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Business Administration. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Information. Nathan Ornell Doris. Jen Redrup. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Information. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Information Management. Tanya Denise Matheson. Riley Laura Ann O'Neill. Temitope Onita. Lauren Susan Ross. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Information Management. Chancellor Southwell, I am now honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Laws. Abdul Karim. Gulnoza Ikram Kizi Abdurakhmanova. Amudat Oluwatosin Bello. Heather Ellen Burchell. Rufaro Emily Chikuruo. Walid Guman. Malian Levi. Emmanuel Tochukwu Onyeabar. Loveth Ugwa Ovedje. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Laws. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Public Administration. Simone Claudine Lilly. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Public Administration. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Science. Mohammed Omer Asif. Apratim Dar. Raghav Johar. Tyler Jacob Allen McLean. Connor Christopher Mullins. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Science.
Chancellor Southwell, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is the highest earned degree that Dalhousie University is providing to candidates. It really represents the culmination of their educational journey. So the following candidates have fulfilled the requirement for that degree through thesis and examination. Chancellor, we also recognize today the contribution of the thesis advisor of those candidates. It's a long journey of collaboration between the candidate and their supervisor. So we're happy to have some here today, and we ask them to join Estelle on the stage to provide the pins to the candidate. And to our new graduates, we invite you to join the stage after your hooting. Chancellor Southwell. Thank you.
Kenneth Etime Onku, Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Sciences. Shegun Aladirin Babarinde, Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Sciences. Shakiru Opeyemi Bello, Doctor of Philosophy in Law. Hillary Ferguson, Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies. Michelin Anita Gleixner, Doctor of Philosophy in Law. Hannah Elizabeth Main, Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology. Robin Marie Nicoletti Parker, Doctor of Philosophy in Interdisciplinary Studies. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Just before she leaves the stage, just a round of applause for our wonderful orator, Ella McDonald. Please join me once again in congratulating all of the graduates with your applause. So now I'd also like to call attention to the families and friends of our graduates. We know that Convocation is a very important occasion for you as well as your student. So I'm sure all of us here recognize the importance of your love and support, whatever form that may take, along the way. So we would like to express our gratitude to you for the role you have played in your students' journey. Graduates, your family and friends have been applauding you all afternoon, so now it is your turn to honor them with your cheers. Please stand and let them hear you. Thank you. You may be seated. So now I would like to call upon Dean Andrews to introduce today's Convocation speaker.
Thanks, Leslie. I just want to say one thing before we start, and I think it's apropos given that the person who's going to be delivering today's Convocation speaker is coming back to Dalhousie, having graduated from Dalhousie many years ago. I just want to give a shout out to a friend who I did my PhD with, who's here, Jo Saul, and her daughter, who is graduating today, Claire Mills. I feel old, is what I'm going to say. Makes you feel old, but good. So really lovely to be in that moment of seeing this kind of full circle graduation. With that, I'm going to introduce today's Convocation speaker. I'm delighted to have the privilege of introducing Dr. Harvey Amani Whitfield, who holds the inaugural Centennial Carnegie Chair in the History of Slavery at the University of King's College. He is jointly appointed to the Department of History in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences at Dalhousie University and affiliated with one of our newest and most exciting programs, the Black and African Diaspora Studies program in FAS. Dr. Whitfield is an internationally renowned scholar in the history of slavery, having begun this groundbreaking research when he completed his master's in history at Dalhousie, focusing on West African history, followed by a PhD also in history at Dalhousie, which explored the experiences of the War of 1812 Black refugees, which he completed in 2003. This research resulted in two very important books, groundbreaking books, I would argue, From American Slaves to Nova Scotian Subjects, The Case of the Black Refugees, 1813 to 1840, in 2005, and Blacks on the Border, The Black Refugees in British North America, 1815 to 1860, in 2006. Dr. Whitfield was initially appointed a professor in the history department at the University of Vermont, where he continued this vital research, producing two more also groundbreaking books that explored slavery. Firstly, South of the Colonial Canada-US Border, called The Problem of Slavery in Early Vermont, 1777 to 1810 in 2014, and then in the Maritimes with a book that I'm intimately familiar with from my own research and very grateful that he has written, North to Bondage, Loyalist Slavery in the Maritimes in 2016. These books highlight, once again, the significant role of slavery within colonial Canada, a story that I think is often untold or unrecognized. As his book explains, while most Canadians believe their nation fell on the right side of history in harboring black slaves from the United States, in the wake of the American Revolution, many Loyalist families brought their slaves to settle in the maritime colonies of British North America. North to Bondage traces the transition and movement of Black people from slavery in the United States to continued slavery in the Maritimes. It is not an optimistic story of slavery to freedom, but rather a narrative about forced migration, displacement, and the expansion of slavery in the British Empire. His painstaking use of archival research has resulted in several more essential books. Black Slavery in the Maritimes, A History in Documents in 2018, and the Biographical Dictionary of Enslaved Black People in the Maritimes in 2022, that gives us a really rich archival view of who these folks were that were coming north to enslavement. Dr. Whitfield was a professor of North American history at the University of Calgary from 2019 to 2024, when he took up the Carnegie Chair to honor 100 years of collaboration between the University of King's College and the Faculty of Arts and Sciences at Dalhousie. We are utterly delighted to have him back at King's and at Dal. I'd ask you to join me in welcoming Dr. Imani Whitfield. Thank you.
Am I at the can y'all hear me? Yeah, it's okay? Great. So how y'all doing? Yeah? Congratulations. I'm so proud of y'all to have finished. Thank you to my dean for that wonderful welcome. I'm so happy to be here. I was hoping that maybe we could say that I didn't graduate 20 years ago, but it's true. But I'm proud to say I was pretty young when I finished my PhD here. I sat there and I thought to myself, what do you actually say at a convocation address? Like, what do you actually, how can I contribute to your lives, right? And I think I would first start by saying, so Dalhousie is a great place. And it is not an understatement for me to tell y'all that Dalhousie gave me my life. If I had not come to Dalhousie, I never would have lived a life that I've lived since then. I would have had a fine life. I grew up in the States, in Washington, D.C., and, I could have followed a political path. I could have gone to Howard University. I could have gone to the University of Chicago. But for some bizarre reason, I ended up coming to Dalhousie. And you might be wondering, how is it that, an African-American kid ends up in a place like Halifax when they're from D.C.? I mean, it's a little weird, right? It's okay, right? It's a little strange. And I think I wanted to experience something new, something different. And that's exactly what I got at Dalhousie. Because I think for a lot of African Americans anyway, we don't know that much about a place like Nova Scotia, especially if you grew up in the South, right? It's just, you don't think about it. But I was blessed to end up here. I applied for the graduate program in history, and I came here, and I learned so much. And I think what y'all are walking away with today, in many ways, is maybe what I walked away with 20 years ago. And so I want to make a point about that. I think the biggest thing that I walked away with from Dalhousie was, one, perseverance. Because it's not easy here, right? It's not easy to get a degree. It's not easy to get an MBA. It's not easy to get a PhD. It's not easy to get a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, right? It's not easy. You have to persevere. And I won't even lie to you. Every single day that I was in a PhD program here at Dal, I literally thought about quitting until the day I graduated. True story. It's not even an exaggeration, right? And the crazy thing is, what I've realized is after you graduate from Dal, this name will hold weight for you in weird places that maybe you're not expecting. And I can say that as an American, right? Seriously. I've lived all over North America since 2003, and every single place I went that I've lived, right? Vermont, New York, Illinois, so on and so forth, I met people that knew what Dalhousie was, that had some sort of connection to Dalhousie, right? But so I think there's the name. But here's the second thing that I think you're taking with you that makes you distinct as graduates, right? And this is kind of like a big thing, is at this school, right, we teach how to read, how to write, how to orally communicate. These things are important. Whether you're in the business world, or you're in the academic world, or you're in the legal world, those are big things. We also teach people here how to research well. And that's our reputation, because you're going to go out on the job market, right? Okay? And there might be some people that have a degree from the University of Toronto. There might be some people that have a degree from Queens. There might be some people, if you're a Yank like me and you're going back to the States, that maybe they went to Harvard or Yale or Princeton. You're going to be on the same job market. So how do you beat them out for a job? You use all the skills that we teach and taught here, and you put them on display during an interview, and you compete, and you beat them out. And how do I know? Because that's exactly what I did. All right? Am I keeping y'all awake? Okay? We're okay? Are we a little bored? I know, because I think my time limit was like 8 to 10 minutes, so I'm just like, and I'm sure after going, we've done everything and had this, I don't want to talk for too long and bore you to death. But I do want to tell you, so when I say that Dalhousie gave me my life, what do I mean by that? Well, when I got here, I started off in what Dalhousie's history department has always been well known for, which was the history of the British Empire and African history. That's what it was known for at that time. And I got here, and being a kid from like DC, coming to Halifax was weird. Like, I just was like, what is happening here, right? You have to remember, this is like the late 1990s, and I was young, I was like 22 years old. And it was shocking to me to actually like just be at Dal. And I started my master's degree, and as the dean said, I focus on African history. But as I got into my PhD program, I felt a little uncomfortable because I felt like I was studying African history for all the wrong reasons. As an African American, I had never, at least when I was in high school and college, there never was even an African history class. So I felt like I had this relation to Africa, like I wanted to understand it, right? But the reality is Africa is a broad, diverse continent with multiple histories and historiographies, and maybe I got into it for the wrong reasons. And as I looked around, I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do? Should I quit the PhD program? Should I go back to the States, right? Go into the U.S. military? My grandfather was the highest ranking black medical officer in World War II. I thought, I could do that. I could go into politics. But what I started to notice was there was a history here of black people in Nova Scotia. The black loyalists, of course, and of course the black refugees. Now, at that time, the image of the black refugees from historians, unfortunately, was quite negative. And I just started to think about it, and I was like, well, I wonder, maybe I should switch to Canadian history. And in PhD programs, people that go into history or maybe poli-sci or whatever, it's not always that easy to switch from doing global history or African history to sit up there and say, yeah, I think I want to do Canadian history, right? And you have to remember, as an American, the only thing I knew about Canadian history was John A. Macdonald was prime minister. I actually knew, I really didn't know anything, right? So it's okay, what am I going to do? I got the support, the encouragement from Dalhousie's history department. I don't want to get emotional about it. David Sutherland, who some of you all will know, who was a professor here for many years. He just died last year, as a matter of fact. Him and Judith Fingard, they said, yeah, sure. And a very famous professor, Michael Cross, said to me, yeah, I think you should do Black Canadian history. Of course, that meant I had to do 2 extra PhD fields because I had to learn Canadian history, I had to learn history of the Maritimes. I ended up, as the dean said, writing my first book about the black refugees. And what I showed in that book was that these people had agency, that they created communities, that they didn't just come here and starve, which seemed to be the basic bottom line of the historiography, that they created the African Baptist Church, also an African Methodist church, by the way. They also created a bunch of social organizations and were politically active. They melded their, as they named their community organizations, African heritage with their displays of loyalty to the British Crown, probably especially after 1834, when Britain started, shall we say, to end slavery in its colonies. I never, ever would have written a topic about African American migrants from Maryland and Virginia and the Georgia Sea Islands, if you can believe that, who came to Nova Scotia and created a community. And we see that now out in Beachville, right, with the Beachville Baptist Church, who just celebrated its 180th anniversary. We see that with Africville. Those are all black refugee settlements, by the way, out in Preston, Hammonds Plains. And I never would have done that. And I'll just finish up on this note. So when I finished at Dal, I was an American, and back in those days, you didn't really get a work visa to stay here. So as it turned out, I had to go back to the United States. So I applied for this job at the University of Vermont. And the other two finalists were one of the women was from Yale. She had worked with the famous historian David Blight. And another was a person, she had worked with Nell Irving Painter, very famous African-American historian at Princeton. So I go to this interview and I'm just like this dude, this like random dude from Dal, right? And I have to tell you, like at that time, this is gonna be hard for y'all to believe. I actually show my students here pictures of this. At that time, I had dreadlocks, probably down to here. You can see some things have changed. It might be age, but I won't tell you how old I am. I think my grandmother used to say, just tell them you're 35 plus. It's like, okay. So I went for this job. I applied for it. And the way I got that job was exactly what I know you all are going to go out and do. You're going to apply for jobs. You're going to go in there, and you're going to show from the skills that you've learned at this institution. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? You're going to go in there, and you're going to beat them out. That's it. That's it. I believe in this. I believe in this. Right? You're going to be better writers, better communicators. You're going to take what you learn there, and you're going to show them that you're willing to actually do some work and not make excuses. I have faith in y'all, and I'm wishing you every bit of good luck. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you so much, Dr. Whitfield, for your words of recognition to the graduates for the hard work that they did to get here and the meaning of their degree as they go on to their next steps. We're truly lucky to have you here twice, once as a student and once as a faculty member to inspire and educate us here today and the future students that will be in your classroom. Thank you. Graduates, today you are led into this ceremony and will be led out by our beadle carrying the new Dawn staff of place and belonging. The staff is not merely a ceremonial object, it is a representation of our diverse community at Dalhousie. It is filled with symbols, materials, and textures that reflect the richness and diversity of individuals like you who have and will continue to be lifelong members of Dalhousie's global community, which includes more than 160,000 alumni worldwide. And as you heard today, very important connection. Graduates and guests, the business of convocation is concluded. Please allow faculty and graduates to exit the room first, led by our beadle. Congratulations again to all of you.
Give me the diminish, don't delio no deal. Nigga much dot ma we done it. Give me the diminish, don't what a big soul deal. Nigga much dot. Abahon madul tinne, abahon madul tinne, dan gisuk eliga haluk sigu ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha ya ya we yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya we yo he much good, my we done it. Give me the diminish, done what a big soul did. Nigga much good, abahon madul tinne, abahon madul tinne, dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau sit amo we ya heu we yo we ha yo yo we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya he yo we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we 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 yo he ha ya he yo give me the diminish dam delio no deal nigga much good my we done it give me the diminish done what a big soul deal nigga much good abahon madul tinne abahon madul tinne dan gisuk teliga haluk sigu ulau sit amo we aheu we yo we ha ya ya we yo he yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya ya we yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya ya we yo he ha ya he yo we yo we ha ya ya we yo he ha much to my widanage. Give me dead manage, done what a big soul did. Nigga much to abahon madultinage. Abahon madultinage. Dan gisul teliga luk sigu ulau sit amo we a heu we yo we ha ya ya we yo hey yo hey ha ya we yo hey ha ya ya we yo hey ha ya we yo hey ha ya we yo hey ha ya ya we yo hey ha ya hey yo we yo hey ha ya ya we yo hey yo hey ha ya we 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 yo hey ha ya hey yo we yo hey ha ya ya we yo hey yo hey ha ya we yo hey ha ya ya we yo hey ha ya we yo hey ha ya we yo hey